Finding your voice, a singer's journey.
Hello everyone and welcome to Finding Your Voice, a Singer's Journey. Today we are here with Evin.
Waving to all the cameras. Hi!
Evin is an Irish singer-songwriter.
Indeed.
And he has released different singles so far. So you moved here to London to pursue a career in music. And you are working now as a producer in Ed Matrix studio here in London. And you are doing your own artistic project.
Absolutely. I'm lucky enough to say that. So it's good.
Nice.
Very, very good.
So yeah, like how would you describe yourself as an artist?
I think that question's so it's so broad. It's like the first thing when I think of that is like I have to have an elevator pitch. When somebody asks me who am I as an artist, you have to be able to say straight away who you are. But at the moment I'm really, really interested in finding out the answer to that question. I know that when you think of an artist, you think of somebody that just has a message to say, has something that they need to say to the world through whatever medium it is that they're going to be using. In our case, it's music. In other cases, it's like painting or it's writing or whatever. So at the moment, I'm really enjoying finding out what it is that I have to say. I know I really, really do want to say something.
Nice.
But it's getting there. It's getting there.
So it's a way for you to express yourself.
Absolutely, that's totally what this project is about with me as an artist. It's just that at some point, about 2 years ago, I felt that I needed to say something more than what it was that I was doing through production and through songwriting. I felt that there was something within myself that I needed to say directly to the world. And that the last 2 years have been just a development of that. I'm not interested in being signed as like an artist with a label. I'm not interested in getting management or anything like that. I'm just interested in putting a project together where when you look at it, when somebody comes across it randomly on the internet, they can understand what it is that I'm saying and maybe they can relate with it. And I can find somebody out there that has a similar message and that listens to my message, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the way, the idea of the main purpose is delivering something, is having a message to tell the world. Absolutely. And I think, as an artist, you should have some kind of purpose, and that is really, really, really good.
For sure. And it's been really funny because there's it's not just with music that the communication comes across. I'm going to say something terrible because I'm in my pajamas right now. But in the last 2 years, I've found such an interest in my look, in how, like, when we met about 4 years ago. I think I looked completely different.
Completely different.
And I maybe acted a little bit different as well. And just in the last 2 years, it's been a very, very interesting journey to find out my like through finding out my message, also seeing how that relates to my look and the clothes that I wear and the makeup that I wear, even though I'm not wearing makeup now. But yes, it's not been just a journey through music. It's been a journey through many other different avenues.
Yeah, I think in your Spotify description you talk about inclusivity and
exactly.
And that goes back to the way you present yourself as well.
Yes.
So like influences wise, you say like on as well in your description you say that you like pay homage to your influences through your songs and through your music. Right. So like who influences you and like how does it influence your music?
That's a funny thing because I love popular music now. I love the super clean sound of pop music. But for some reason, when I hear like an old 80s Juno synth, or I hear some live drums that sound like kind of retro and old, there's something within my heart that just relates to it so much, and I can just get into the music a lot more than a pop track that I would just hear on the fly. So the influences that I'm naturally drawn to would be like Prince and George Michael. I love Queen so much. But what my goal with my music is now is that I love that, as I said, that super clean pop sound. So if I could find a way to be able to bring what it is that I find so emotionally connecting about old retro music from the 80s, but with the clean pop sound of today that most people listen to and kind of most people enjoy, then that would be a job well done if I could do that, if that makes sense.
Nice. Yeah. And how do you feel you're doing so far?
At the moment, it's totally been a progression. It's been a wild journey because I started with Fears of Letting Go. I started with this thing, and for anybody that doesn't know this, the track, it starts with this epic saxophone, which is obviously a little tip of the hat to George Michael and Careless Whisper. So that track was very, very retro inspired. You can hear it. It sounds like something that would have been released 30 years ago. And then I went on to Good Morning Girl. And Good Morning Girl was a song that was written around the same time as Fears of Letting Go. All of the drums were recorded around the same time as Fears of Letting Go. So the whole makeup of the song, the production of it, was very similar to Fears of Letting Go. Okay. When I got around to mixing Good Morning Girl, at that point in time, I was really interested, or I started to get interested in creating this clean pop sound in tandem with the retro, old vintage vibe, let's call it. So what I tried doing with that release with Good Morning Girl was trying to get a very, very solid pop vocal sound over a very retro sounding track. And that kind of worked. It was a very interesting result. I enjoy the song, enjoy listening to it now. It's just an interesting sound when I listen back to it. But then with the track that I'm going to be releasing next, the single off of the EP, that I think I've found the perfect balance between the two goals that I have in mind.
So the retro idea comes from the music,
yes,
and the pop clean sound is in the vocals. Okay.
And I noticed that during Good Morning, when I was producing Good Morning Girl, that in order to make somebody that listens to it that doesn't know much about music, or that doesn't produce music or write music, for them to be able to say, oh, this is a pop track, the vocals need to be so loud, so clean, and so just like perfect up front. If you have a perfect, loud, perfectly compressed, perfectly EQ'd vocal that's right there at the front, most people will say that's a pop song. Doesn't really matter about the music behind.
So let's talk about the festival.
Yes.
So it's now your second year participating to
Wild Roots Festival in Ireland, Sligo, Ireland.
So tell us a little bit about the experience. How did it go this year, and how was it different from last year? And you were different from last year.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it was a crazy experience both times round. This year was incredible. I brought together a really, really good group of people. I was so lucky that just everybody came together and they all had a really, really nice vibe, because most of them didn't really know each other in the band. And the videographer definitely didn't know a lot of the people that were in the band. It was a very, very, very good team for this project. And it just happened by coincidence that everybody was a really good vibe. So we took a flight over to Ireland, and we played the festival. We hung out at the festival for the day, saw Rudimental. Tell me that you want me. So good, so good. And then that was the Saturday done. We didn't have any sleep from Friday to Saturday at all. I'll be releasing a nice video of the whole thing, because Soren this year, the videographer, got an incredible video of the whole performance. It honestly looks like a music video. There's some parts where it looks incredible.
And which song did you perform?
Oof. So last year at the festival, I performed one cover I performed a whole set list, but within the set list there was one cover, and I noticed at the end of the set last year, or even just when I'd finished playing the cover, that I'd gathered a crowd, like an audience. It was a 2 p.m. set, so at 2 p.m. at a festival, there's nobody there. There's hardly anybody there. There's like some people monging out on the ground or something like that. But when I finished playing the cover last year, I noticed that whoever was walking past the stage had stopped. So I was like, interesting. So next year when I play, I'm going to add a lot more covers to the set. So I played.
How long was the set?
40 minutes.
Okay.
So I started the set with Good Morning Girl. Then we went into Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over. And then we went into Aretha Franklin, Say a Little Prayer.
Nice.
And then I played.
I'm curious to know how
I did that.
you arranged that.
That was really, really good. That was a lot of fun to arrange that with the guys. But we did that, and then we went into a few more of my own songs that haven't been released yet. And then we did another cover by Dire Straits called Romeo and Juliet, which is a beautiful, beautiful story about two people falling in love very young and then going through that whole experience. And then after that, I rounded the whole set off with Fears of Letting Go.
Nice.
Which is a very nice, very fun song to jam out at the end with.
And how did you vocally prepare for it?
Vocally, I didn't, unfortunately, I really, really wanted to do a few sessions with my little brother, because previously during the Christmas holidays, I'd been working a little bit with him because he's doing vocal studies in the Guildhall at the moment. So it just kind of happened naturally over the Christmas holidays that he was like, Evan, do you want to sing for me there a little bit? Let me check out your voice. And I was like, cool. So I started really enjoying doing those sessions with him. And my intention was to do a few sessions with him before heading to Wild Roots. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because I was just wrapped up in rehearsing with the band. So in terms of preparation, there was a lot that happened, but it wasn't specifically on preparing my voice for the festival. It was more like going to the band member's house and maybe just running the song with him, or getting together as a full rehearsal and running the songs like that.
Yeah.
And would you feel in the future you would need some more vocal practice, or were you happy with where your voice is?
I think in the future I need to be consistently doing vocal practice. It's not really specifically about leading up to a date. It needs to be a maintenance thing of just
a mindset.
Yeah, consistent just practice through the week. Even if I don't have a gig coming up, I should be prepared for a gig if it happens vocally. But luckily enough, I had enough knowledge about my set to technically just do it properly without causing too much stress to my voice.
Nice.
So it was okay. There weren't any songs that it was like, oh shit, this is going to be really brutal. So it was fine.
You've been busking like quite a lot recently. So
Oh, that is a good thing to actually mention, because I started doing busking to prepare for the festival. When I started doing the first few sets of busking, I really realized that I did have a lot of work to do with mic technique about how how close I have to be to the mic, how far I should be from the mic at different points of songs. It made a lot of sense when my little brother said that you just have to feel like a compressor. I never thought of it like that before. Because I never really used a mic before. I never thought about getting on stage and singing with a mic. So that was a huge help to be busking every weekend. But the second thing that I really noticed that I had to work on when I started doing the busking was my eye line. Because when I did the first few sets of busking, I really noticed that even when I was looking up and I was playing guitar, I was kind of like this instead of like this.
Okay.
And that made the biggest difference for the people that were passing by to make a connection with you, because
So rather than like were you looking on the street on?
yeah, but I was like, it was just that I was like playing the guitar. I was kind of looking at the chords that I was playing, and I was singing the song just like this. But when you're performing, you really have to. You don't have to, but it just makes a big difference if you just lift your chin up a little bit more and you just look out above people's heads or at their foreheads. Because then people can see you, they hear a sound that they like, they see somebody at the side playing guitar, and then they can make a connection directly with you. But for the first few sets that I did when I was busking, I was looking at the ground pretty much, and I wasn't making any connections with people that were walking by. So I noticed that I really needed to work on that to be able to...
And does it feel like your voice is affected as well by being like this rather than straight?
The whole intention is kind of affected by it, because when you look up and you kind of just accept that you're, taking people face on, you can either tense up for a little bit. Maybe I might, the first time I did it, I might have tensed up and be like, oh, this is scary. But maybe like halfway through the song, I would realize that it's not really too bad. People are just walking by, they're enjoying the song, relax a little bit. And then because my head is up and I'm singing to people and I can see the people that I'm singing to, I probably relax a little bit, and that probably helps with the voice as well. Nice. It's not something that I really think about, but I imagine that it would help. The busking really was a really huge help.
So that probably like helped you as well, because you played a lot of the same songs.
Yes.
When you're busking so
Absolutely.
like even though you didn't have a chance to vocally prepare.
Yes.
Like you had already done the prep in a way for the song, so it was like muscle memory.
It was when I got on stage at Wild Roots this year. It was a combination between having such a great team behind me and also being comfortable in the songs and being comfortable in myself, that I'd practiced enough with the band beforehand. I was not nervous at all. I got on stage and I looked at the two people that were sitting in the field in front of me, and I was like, "Yo, guys, thank you for being here." And I just it felt like myself and my band were just in the rehearsal room having a jam, having a good time. And when we went through the set and we played the covers and we played the original songs, and as an audience slowly started to gather, which it did this year because we played more covers and more people heard more songs that they knew. It just got progressively better and better, because the band started feeling better. We started playing, started getting in the groove. It was really good. We started seeing people coming and enjoying the music. We started drinking more pints on stage. It was just so much fun. And I'm really looking forward to doing the exact same thing in London very soon at a little headline show. Honestly, the idea of doing an EP only came to me very, very recently, because I have a single ready to go. And I was watching the music video of this single and I was listening to it, and I was thinking to myself, while I was listening to it, I was like, I do have a few other songs that are pretty much done. And when the song ended, I was like, why don't I just use this as the single for the EP and have a few more songs like on that, like with it.
Are we talking 4 or 5 songs?
Yeah, 4 songs, including the Aretha Franklin cover. Because with the Aretha Franklin song, when I was putting together the set for the Wild Roots thing, I was thinking I do need a few more covers, and I had Don't Dream It's Over, which was an absolute must, because
I would say from outside, knowing you is your favorite song.
I love that song so much. I love it. It's so good. But I don't know what it is about it. The reason that I love it so much is because it's the melody lines and the key that I play it in. It works perfectly for my voice. And I don't really mean so much about the range of my voice. Like it fits perfectly in the range, but it's something about the jumps and the notes that it fits perfectly for the tone of my voice.
Nice, yeah. And also, like, it might be also that you can carry the emotions that you want in that tone.
Absolutely. And just like touching on finding your voice as a singer, it's been a huge help. This song has been a huge help to me to find my own voice, because it just works so perfectly in the, like, just the technicality of the melody lines. They work so perfect for me that I can use this song as like a practice for my own sound, if that makes sense. So when I sing it, I do sing it with, like, through the last year or year and a half that I have been singing it, I've been finding different things that I can do that are a little bit unique to me through singing this song, if that makes sense.
Nice.
And do you consider, knowing now that melody sits perfectly in your range and you can do this and that, do you consider, when you write your melodies, do you consider where you sit in with your voice?
I will for sure going forward. It's something that I've just again realized very recently, but for sure I sit around A minor. That's my like around A. If I write a track in A minor, I'm gonna be happy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be very, very happy. Which is funny because there's a lot of George Michael songs that sit around A minor as well. So just saying that.
And I think there's a whole Alicia Keys album
In A minor?
songs in A minor.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn.
I think
something
the
about A
album is
minor.
called Songs in A minor.
Really? Yeah. That's really crazy. I didn't know that. But yeah, A minor is a very comfortable
your key.
for me. Yes. So most of the songs that I did for Wild Roots were transposed, or either written in A minor or A major, or C major.
C major, A minor.
Or they were transposed close to that. So it's been that's something so important though. Like there was one song that I had written in D minor, or just in a different key, and we tried doing it in rehearsal, and there was no chance that I was going to sing it comfortably in that key.
Was it too high?
It was too high, absolutely too high. And I just said, just bring it down, absolutely bring it down into a different key, because it's so important that it's just in the right key for you. It doesn't matter what key it was written in at all.
Yeah.
Just as long as when you're singing it live on stage, without, any production or anything like that, it has to be just comfortable for your voice.
Yeah.
That's like, take it for granted. It has to be.
Nice. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about this in a moment, because now we have a little break just to.
Beautiful.
Nice. We have a little game for you.
We have a game?
Yes.
What is the game?
Is don't forget the lyrics.
We'll play a little bit, and then you have to continue and see if you know the lyrics.
Okay. Lana Del Rey, Young and Beautiful. I haven't listened to this song in years.
Hot summer nights, mid-July, when you and I were forever wild.
Crazy days, city lights,
Nice.
and the way you played with me like a child. Nice! I'm surprised I got that. The winner takes it all. Okay, go on.
The winner takes it all.
Literally, the only part of this I know is the winner takes it all.
Should I complain? Tell me, does she kiss?
Tell me, does he kiss?
You started in the right way.
Like didn't come to. No.
No.
No, I don't know it. What is it?
Like I used to kiss you. Does it feel the same when she calls your name?
Somewhere.
What's the next one?
Zombie. Cranberries.
May you see, it's not me, it's not my family.
In your head, they are fighting.
Nice.
With their tanks and their bombs and their guns.
Yes.
In your head, they are fighting.
They are crying. Almost.
crying.
Yeah, that was it. Though.
Nice.
You got it.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Just killed a man.
Put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun. But now, let it be. We could do that.
Let it be. Let it be.
Let it be.
When I find myself in times of trouble,
Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. And when I find myself, is it that? And when no.
And in my,
In my hour of darkness, and
She's standing right
in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Okay, cool. I like the game. I did better than I actually expected.
Yeah, yes, you did really well. So, let's finish off with a little few questions about your voice.
Voice.
Yes, we already discussed a little bit like your relationship with your voice.
Yes.
And Anna mentioned that when she met you,
You didn't really like singing in public.
in public.
But yeah, like I think the more that you did, like, and then as you said, you've gone through this kind of stage of like finding yourself as an artist and like exploring it a bit more. But like, I think for me, I think I also was trained like in a more classical way. And I think it did put me off, like, I thought that was kind of the only way. That was like, I don't know, that you could learn it.
yes.
And that was the only kind of, but then going to ICMP and like finding that there was like another way to approach the voice. That was really, it was really good to open up my mind to like, oh, okay, so it doesn't have to be this way. It can be lots of ways.
Yeah, it would have been quite similar as well for me, but it was funny because I pretty much came out of the womb singing. I started singing before I was talking, and through my whole life I'd just been always singing while doing things. I still do it now, that I'm just, that I'm very comfortable when I'm there, like just writing something and I'm humming. It's always been a huge part of my life to just have that as an output.
I always hear you when you're in our house because I can hear your
just
voice.
Walking around singing. I love the sound. It's going to sound so obnoxious. I love the sound of my own voice, but I love the sound of like my voice hitting off different walls, and like when I'm in like a big house. I love that. I sing so much more when I'm back home in Ireland because the house has quite high ceilings. So when I'm walking around the house, it's such a nice experience to just be singing as you're going around. But then, as you did say, I came to London and I didn't sing as much in the company of other people. But I think that it wasn't really that I was uncomfortable to sing in front of other people. Whenever people would ask me to sing, or where the moment was there to sing, I just chose not to, because at the beginning I was just interested in, I was a guitarist and a producer, and that was my mindset, that like in a group of, all of my friends were musicians, so in a group of people that are hanging out together and having a little sing-song, I'm the guitarist there. Maybe I could join in a little bit with like a few little melodies, but there's like people in the room that are there to like, they're artists, they're singers, and they're doing that. So I didn't feel any stress or any obligation to open my mouth and sing. Until my mindset changed a little bit, and I was like, okay, well now kind of I feel like my moment as a guitarist and as a producer, they've had their time, and I've done that, and I'm still doing it, but I've kind of just regained an interest in singing, and I've got for some reason, it just in my mind, I'm able to sing in public now. You know what I mean? Whereas before it was like, I'm a guitarist. I don't really do that. If that makes sense. It's a weird thing.
It was just the mindset that you were in
Yeah, it's
at the
totally
time.
just a mindset. And now I'm a singer. Now I'm a singer and I sing in public.
So, in your elevator pitch, how do you present yourself? Hi, I'm Evin, and I'm
an artist. I'm an artist, songwriter, and then the conversation about the studio and the production would come afterwards, a little bit later. But it totally depends on the person that I'm speaking to.
As well, yeah.
If I'm speaking to somebody in a bank, I'm going to say I'm a music producer and I work in a studio first, of course. But to most people that I meet in the studio or out and about, I'd say I'm an artist first.
your first identity, in a way, is that one.
Artist, definitely. And
Nice.
it would make sense.
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. It's going to change. It's always going to change. Yes. But
Nice.
that would be it.
And so you've been classically trained
Yes.
with your voice.
Yes.
How did you apply that classical sound to the pop
I've
world?
completely abandoned it. Completely forgotten everything about my training beforehand, which I'm coming back around to now, which is why the sessions with my little brother are very interesting for me now, because when I did the sessions with my brother, we sang for about, maybe the longest session was 2 hours that we did just by accident. We didn't mean to go on singing for 2 hours because it's like probably not the best thing to do. But after the 2 hours of singing, I felt so relaxed. I was able to just speak as normal. There was no tension. When I sing normally without thinking about all of this technical stuff, I get a huge tension at the top of my larynx. Whereas if there was any sort of a tension, it was actually below my larynx, because we were focusing on keeping the larynx very low and relaxed and not having it shooting like straight up to my head. So I have forgotten about the years of training that I did classically. It is still there and I can kind of engage with it if I think about it. But more recently, I've been very interested in just hearing what my own voice sounds like as a speaking voice, and then trying to make my singing voice sound very similar to how my speaking voice is, because I'd like it to be that my voice sounds the same as me as a person.
To feel authentic to yourself, you feel like your singing voice should match what your speaking voice is.
Yes, exactly. I totally believe that. And that's something that I really did not like about the classical singing, is that in order to project and fill a huge space without any microphones, you have to be able to create pockets of resonances in your head. And in order to do that, you need to, place your voice in a certain way that it doesn't sound like your speaking voice. Luckily for me and for all like pop singers, we have a microphone to be able to put in front of our face and amplify what it is that we're projecting. And that allows us to be able to sing with like a more just straight from just here, without turning your voice or without focusing in on all of the resonances. Something that I really need to be careful of, though, within the next few months of my development vocally, is that I left the classical stuff behind, and I did find a sound within my voice that I really, really like. But what I've gone and done now is I've kind of gone even further than I should have, in a way that I've developed habits onto my voice that I'm adding effects onto my voice, like airiness and maybe like a raspiness that it's not my own voice. So I'm doing the classical thing, but like in a different way now. So I'm like adding airiness onto my voice that isn't naturally my voice. So what I focused on a lot with my little brother is finding my own voice just from here to out there, without adding all the airiness on top.
And then once you have your voice, you can put those filters back.
Absolutely.
And you can add some air again.
Whenever you want. But at the moment, it's at a dangerous point where
where you don't have control over it.
Yeah, I'm only singing with the airiness or the raspiness, or I'm changing how I would say a word because it sounds more cooler. You know, like how you say, like you have like you put an accent on when you're singing, and you wouldn't say that word if you were speaking the way that you're saying it. You'd say it like just, you know what I mean? So I need to just be careful of that over the next few months, that I just bring it back, because the reason that I started searching for my own voice is because that's what I have unique to me. And this adding of airiness and raspiness and changing the way that words sound, it's just going back to the thing with the classical in a different way. It's going like it just sounds like somebody else, some other pop singer that's singing with a little bit of an accent. So that's going to be very interesting over the next few months for sure.
Definitely, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah,
exploring.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Absolutely.
To wrap up, what can we expect from you in the future?
In the future, well, I'm doing a lot of stuff in the studio at the moment, which when I get very busy with the studio, it puts the artist stuff on pause. After that, I'm going to be straight on to my artist project again, and I'll be releasing the video from the festival.
Nice.
I'll be releasing a few songs from the EP. I'll be releasing a few music videos from that.
Nice. You mentioned a headline show.
Yes, I'll be doing a headline show. Very
nice. Keeping yourself busy.
Yes.
Where can people find out all this information?
Find everything on my Instagram. From Instagram, where my Instagram name is my name, which is Evin, Evin. And you just type in Evin. Type in my name over and over again. You'll find me on Instagram. It's that easy. So that's
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah,
pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
And we're going to leave you with a little vocal arrangement now of Evan's song Plans.
Plans.
It's gonna come out soon.
It's going to come out very soon. It's the single, so it's the first one that you're going to... When you hear this song, when it's out, you know there's a lot more coming. So just know that.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wait a little, don't call up your friends, 'cause the day will be over and I'll be wasted on cans. It's not plain and simple with time on your hands. Damn, the day's nearly over, wasted on plans. Why am I sitting with my head in my hands when I said that I'd be across town? Some wannabe clowns. This works, that hurts, it all kinda sucks. Maybe with a little bit of something on the rocks. That was the definition of tight.
Thank you for listening to Finding Your Voice, a singer's journey. This podcast has been brought to you by Vocal Venture. Follow us on all social media platforms at Vocal Venture to become a part of our community. Join us next week for another inspiring chat.
Finding your voice, a singer's journey.